Good evening, officers and others. Tonight's briefing takes us back over 5 centuries to the year 1481 and to one of the earliest recorded encounters between humanity and what we could now classify as a Category Delta aquatic guardian entity. The creature known as the Abaya. This case predates our organisation by centuries, yet it remains one of the most profound lessons in the archives, a story of arrogance, imbalance and vengeance of the sea itself. Preorder was a Portuguese explorer, one of the Crown's finest actually, a veteran of many voyages along Africa's coastlines. He sought fame and fortune through discovery. In 1481, commanding a carrack named São Vicente, he set sail into the uncharted waters of the South Pacific. 40 men, seasoned sailors, a ship armed for trade and defence, and yet not one of them was prepared for what awaited beneath those silent waves. The first sign, apparently, was absence, yes. The birds stopped calling, the waves grew unnaturally still, the sea, it fell silent, and most of you know that's not normal. To sailors, silence is never peace, it's often a warning. Moments later, the lookout saw it, a shadow beneath the ship, vast and slow. The creature's size eclipsed anything known to man. When the surface broke, they saw her, the Abaya. Imagine an eel the length of a ship. Its body plated with obsidian black scales that shimmered like liquid glass. It had eyes apparently like molten gold, unblinking. Witnesses described it as an ancient intelligence, watching them as one might watch ants crawling over a sacred altar. But Preorder saw only a beast, and as men do often, he reached for his weapons. Harpoons were launched, cannons fired, and the Abaya's body twisted through the surf, its massive tail striking the hull, splintering wood, tossing men like dolls. One sailor, Zhao the navigator, was swallowed whole in a single shattering strike. Still the captain fought on. In the chaos, Preorder himself hurled a harpoon that pierced the creature's gills. A direct hit, apparently. And then the ocean screamed. Hours later, the Abaya's body floated to the surface, dead. Victory. A sour victory. A victory of sorts. They towed the carcass ashore to a nearby island. It was home to a fishing village. The villagers, at first curious, soon recoiled in terror. Through a translator, they warned the Abaya was sacred, a guardian spirit of the waters. To kill one was to invite the ocean's vengeance. Preorder, proud and unmoved, dismissed their simple people's superstition. But that night the sea began to move again. Eyewitness accounts tell of waves rising without wind, dark shapes moving beneath the surf. More of them. Abyssal shadows, vast as cathedrals, circling the island. By dawn, well, the village was gone, erased from existence by the sea itself. Not one hut, not one fishing boat remained. De Sintra fled. He never again sailed the South Pacific. When he returned to Portugal, he brought with him the Abaya's scales and luminous eyes, trophies for the king's court. But in every account, thereafter, De Sintra's tone was haunted. He warned that the oceans were alive, conscious, and that certain waters should never really be disturbed. The king, well, he displayed the relics for a season until they began to, rot and weep salt water. Then quietly they vanished from the royal treasury. The Abaya is classed as a guardian class aquatic entity, recorded in Kono folklore across Melanesia. It dwells in deep freshwater lakes and volcanic basins. Its scales shimmer with bioluminescent minerals, and its presence regulates water levels, making it both a protector and sometimes a destroyer. When angered, the Abaya commands the surrounding waters, capable of generating rogue waves, whirlpools, even seismic surges, some say. In legend, its death unbalances ecosystems, rivers dry, or floods consume whole valleys. In short, it's not merely a creature, it is a sentience of the water's will, maybe? History records Sintra's tale as a story of exploration. We record it as a warning. The Abaya teaches us that guardians exist, not to serve mankind, but to preserve the natural balance. When we take without understanding, the world pushes back, and when we kill the guardian, well, we inherit some level of grief. Even now, 5 centuries later, our sonar teams in the Pacific report unexplained seismic signatures beneath the dormant volcanic lakes. Movements too regular to be tectonic. Some in the division believe one of the Abaya's kin still watches the deep. Let this briefing stand as both record and remembrance. The Abaya wasn't a monster. It was a keeper. Please, 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 respect the waters. Because some guardians never forgive,